gotta just be in to catch those.
I mean, my gut is like half to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably just half.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot half, but this is fun. Yeah, that nose just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch too and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, yeah, close to that.
Hammers on the straw. Focus of the player. Sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking. You needed to like do science and show what we meant instead of just shouting out and out there. You had to show it. That added another level, I guess, to our game. Now we get a little better when the crowd is loud or when we can't hear.
On this one here, can't hear yet for line ever. No, line like line. Now doesn't have the speed. They like the line, doesn't have the speed. They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits,
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance.
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions. Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise. And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance, pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line. It's a gold line. It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
Last draw.
Yep.
8th in. From the tie to Isabella Wrana.
momentarily. Good luck to all, and good curling.
Good evening, curling fans, or good morning if you're over in Europe. I guess it's the middle of the night there by now, but North America's going to want to watch this one. I'm sure there's some Swedish fans staying up. We've got Team Wrana versus Team Homan. Both coming off of interesting games earlier today. Team Wrana scored a 5 at times. That's usually a victory, and I'm going to look for angry Team Homan. I'm Brent Lang with Chelsea Carey here tonight bringing the action. Chelsea, coming off a loss for Team Homan, not used to it. Does Team Wrana have a chance tonight? She might be mad.
Yeah, I think she's going to be mad for sure, but Team Brado coming in a little bit hot. She made an absolute pistol for 5, so I expect this to be a good game, but I do expect Team Homan to be a little angry, which is not usually a good thing for their opponent.
Looks like Team Wrana with the hammer. Full sheet of action tonight. All 4 sheets are in play. Sounds like a party in my headset. It must be great out there too. But the other ladies game, Team Ha versus Team Tabata. All Canadian hometown hero John Epping against, well, Brad Gushu's a hometown hero everywhere we go in Canada. He used to drive me nuts. Didn't matter where we were. He is the hometown hero somehow. And Team Schwaller versus Team Mowat. 2 heavyweight battles on the men's side too. So Sarah Wilkes starts us off here in the first end. Team Homan with the yellow rocks. Team Wrana with the red.
Yellow line. Yellow line. Lead for line. Oh, if you're there, oh, if you're there, oh. Oh, God, Tracy.
A lot of conversation on a wide open center guard.
Oh, it's over curling.
I think my ears are ultra sensitive or something.
We've got some volume on the mics tonight. Does stay on the center line, which is what they would have been looking for.
A lot of chatter for perfect out of her hand.
They're just better than we were at curling, Brent.
All right, that's been very evident all year this year. Linda Stenlin throwing the lead stones for Team Wrana. One of the, I don't want to call them characters on tour, but they definitely have a lot of personality. They put a lot of time and effort into the Grand Slam of karaoke. Those pink boas, I'll never unsee that.
No, you won't. None of us will.
Of course, singing ABBA.
Of course, singing ABBA.
As any good Swede would. A little overcurl, a little heavy, but not too bad. I doubt Rachel's going to try and chase that. Chelsea, you mentioned, and we were chatting about this sheet. You covered it earlier, and I just covered it in a back and forth game with Team White. I don't know, about an hour and a half ago. That was quite the heater versus Team Hostley, and Team Hostley with the double to win. But it was, the ice is good, but I would say it's a little on the trickier side. The side to side is different. Is that what you saw when you were here?
Yeah, it slanted towards the crowd is what we saw. So they're throwing the swingy return right now. If they were to throw the other turn, we saw some rocks falling a little bit and things. And then for sheet B, we saw sort of the opposite. So it's like it's peaked in between A and B a little bit, and they're curling away from each other. So we'll see if that's still the case. I'm sure that the ice makers are aware of it, and they will likely try to fix it eventually, but between games, they don't really have enough time to do that. So I imagine we'll see similar to what you saw this last draw.
Interesting that they switch turns here. They're trying to draw to basically the exact same spot, and they switch turns. So this was the straighter side, as you said, but they've got some trouble here, I think.
Yeah, this one's curling.
I think John Wall and Mark Shurik, 2 of the best ice makers in the world. Mark's been here for every single Grand Slam, I think, since 2001, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Here because he wants to be, not because he has to be. And I think they're just rolling the dice and saying, deal with this. We'll fix it by the weekend, but we're going to make it just a little bit tricky. Like I said, it's not by any means bad ice. It's just a little bit different from side to side and brings that ice reading kind of skill a little bit more back in the game. Sometimes the ice is so good you don't really have to read it. It's like, okay, 4.5 feet of curl, so if I measure that out, I just put the broom here.
Yeah, it's true. And there actually has been talk about should every slam have different ice, sort of like the tennis slams or the U.S. Open, and you know the U.S. Open is going to have brutal rough, and that's going to be what it is. And then you go to the Open Championship, it's going to be links style, and then Augusta is Augusta. And same with the tennis slams, where one's on clay and one's on grass and one's on. So they're all a
wind
little
in
bit
here.
different.
I like it. The British Open, rain and wind on the ice.
Yeah.
Is that what you're suggesting?
No, not quite, but I know that has been a discussion point for quite a few years, actually.
It has. Now that I'm retired, it's fine, but I would not want to play on shitty ice just to see us struggle.
No, I agree. As players,
Straight
we don't.
and fast.
No, as players, we hate it. And straight and fast makes it boring to watch. So, I don't think that's something that we want. But there's something to be said for tricky ice, bringing in some skills that maybe some of the top teams can forget when they're on really good ice all the time.
We just sound old now. And
yeah, we do.
Chris Plyce and I had the same conversation.
Well,
the
Plyce
old
calling
ice
himself old, I'm like, go away,
yeah,
child.
No,
But it's true, though. Like, you come from a different era, and it's just, and even us, like, when I say that to my dad, he goes, yeah, well, you should have seen it. It's, you're walking uphill school both ways in the blizzard. But it's true. It's just the game has come that far in a short period of time.
So trading kind of breaks here. Now a chance for Emma to throw the same shot. And
this one's gone early, too.
We saw that a couple times in this spot, and they didn't really pick up on it. So we'll see. Generally, in my experience, women are smarter than men, so we'll see if they pick up on it faster. But Bruce did prove that he's the true world champion on Monday night, and you can't take that away from him.
No, it's true.
Bruce and the fellas. We say, uphill both ways, and I joke, high school curling at the Collingwood Curling Club, which has since been renovated, is one of the success stories in curling club management and turnaround. It was snowing on the ice. You walked in from outside and you're on the ice. Your first step was onto the ice right through the big double doors, and it would snow on the ice. And yeah, it was. I didn't make a lot of shots in that building back in the day.
The only curling I had in school was jam pail curling outside on
nice.
like a rink that they'd flooded. Yeah, with
very Manitoba.
Quite literal. Like they weren't jam pails. They were like steel cans filled with cement.
Wow.
But I was already curling on real ice by then, so
it wasn't as fun.
Yeah, I tried to do that, and I was like, this isn't curling. What are we doing here?
Maria Larson now with a chance after an over curl from Emma. So we'll see here if Maria thinks that Emma's terrible at curling or if it really curls here. And I said it earlier, I mean, if I was a curler, I'd be watching my sheet all the time, like knowing every draw, whether you can just mute us if you think we're hard to listen to. Hopefully you don't, but like, watch the sheet. And
just trying to get out of the way for you. Sorry.
Rachel apologizing behind the tee line. Not sure I've ever seen it. Through the hole and kill the Reds.
Yeah, I think it's there. Not a big hole, but it's probably possible. As we learned at the Women's World Championship, Tracy is a wizard, so she can do it.
Is she the only person in the world that starts back like that?
One of very few, and certainly the only one at this level, at the very top level.
Like, it makes sense to me when you talk it through. Like, less motion is good, so.
Yeah, nice shot.
Oh, but
sit?
Picked it. I think line two,
yeah,
just.
I think they both sat in time.
It's kind of like starting your golf swing at the top. It's not like. It'd be harder in the golf swing. I think it'd be easier to do it curling because it's not like any power going back helps you going forward. You're going to get to where you get to, and then you're changing direction. So there's no momentum.
No.
Even I know that.
I just think lining up would be a little tougher, but if you got that figured out, which she obviously has, then I think it would be doable. And certainly there's something to be said. The less things you get out of line, the less things you have to get back into line. I teach that at clinics all the time, and it's similar to a golf swing. So there's definitely some logic there. I remember Colleen Jones switching from, she didn't start back, but she didn't move her foot. There's no forward press or move backwards. It was just straight out.
I'd be afraid my slagger would stick or the rock would stick. Amita Val there with a nose hit, and I had a chance there to hit and roll in front. That was maybe a chance to come around, but first end, bit of a sloppy start, just like we saw in the Hosley White game. So as the week goes on, the players get better and better, mostly because they don't get better, they just get more comfortable with the ice.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when it's a little tricky. You see some uncharacteristic misses from some of the world's best early, and then once they figure it out, it's different. But I don't think either of these teams has been on this sheet either, so they're trying to figure out the sheet shape, which is a little different than the rest of the rest of the rink from what we've seen so far, anyway.
Trying the through the hole slip double. I think you might hit it too thick if you get through there, but maybe not.
I agree. I think it's hard to hit it thin. It's quite thin to make it.
Might be a trick shot if you just kind of ticked the top red and chisel the red one in, and then your shooter might go over. It's probably going to, if you're going to be thin enough to save it with peel, it's probably going to go under that wide yellow, but it's not far off. She is playing down weight, so.
Like that might be the call.
You can get 2 in the ring.
We could also tap this weld right here. This is what I gave that hung open. Maybe up here. Yeah. Just fully. They've got a double to sit 3 if we're not shot. So right to the back line, or where are we going? That's plan B. If we can be buried in top 8, that's great. 14.5. Can't be right. Spot seems finicky. This is the wider line, right? Yeah. This is yours. Probably the one down this path. Little light. Go then. Has to be there. It's all you guys. You got lots of room. Looks light. 6, 5. Tons of room. Line's great. Line's good. 6. Whoa, too much. Nope, nope. Curl a bit. Curl. Curl. Keep going. Yep. Still over, Barry. And then some. That's my other one? Yeah. Done that before. Oh, nice. Yeah. For my last one. Christmas came early. Wow, fast.
Fast har ju den sen om du skulle behöva klippa in den på dubbel.
I think I got a little bit more.
Ja, också det. Alltså det finns en TT där och skjutning där. Ja.
So if Rachel,
doing the outturn, making this double and sitting right there.
okay.
We just saw it, no? I don't know what the in's gonna do at all.
That's fair. What wait?
She could use her phone a friend and call us. We know.
It's gonna do not a lot of anything on the
do
intern.
nothing for Rachel for sure.
Might fall even with Rachel's intern.
Make this double and roll, and you can see the problem. How do you get in there?
It's probably this double run or tap, but that's real scary.
I'm out for that.
Well, what else do you like?
I like playing it on my first.
Yeah, fair enough, but it's too late for that.
Okay. Can I get a redo?
If you were on the ice, well, no, still no, but you wouldn't have called it that way.
So final stone of the first here for Rachel Homan. Needs this one to curl across the face a little and roll a rock would be perfect.
Close.
Kind of like, rolled a bit too far, but that's pretty good.
Still pretty good.
I think yellow is much more likely to score this end than red.
Yeah, it does appear that way.
One whisker too much.
One whisker too much. That's where they're at. That's the level of precision.
A
Down
whisker.
to whiskers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're chasing this one somehow. Or is that a draw through the port?
It looks like it to me, but my guess is that it is maybe a all their weight draw through the port, so you could chisel off the yellow.
Through there, unless you throw hack, you're going to run into the one that's buried.
Well, this will be the straighter one, though, right?
Yep. This looks hard to me, but everything looks hard because we left those two reds.
Yeah, they're all hard.
Rachel said it doesn't look automatic. That's polite.
That is very polite, yes.
Final stone, first end, all kinds of pressure.
Uh-oh, you don't want to hear hard line out of the hand.
On World Mixed Doubles reigning world champion, Isabella Wrana. Rachel says it's heavy. It's going to run into that yellow, I think.
I think it needs to be heavy to be made on this line. It's close, though.
That's fantastic.
What a
pressure
shot.
draw there from Isabella Wrana, and that's going to put one on the board for the team from Sweden. And when we come back after a quick break, Team Homan will have the hammer to see what they can manufacture. We'll be right back.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Welcome back to the Players' Championship with Chelsea Carey. I'm Brent Lang, and we're bringing you the ladies' game action tonight. An interesting first end between Team Wrana and Team Homan. And the most interesting ends typically are like that, where there's some misses, some half shots, some over curls, under curls, feeling out the ice, figuring it out. Ended in a single, so no harm, no foul, as they say in basketball. But advantage Team Wrana because they're up 1-0. I don't know about you, Chelsea, but when you win the draw of the button, you always wanted to at least put a point on the board first. You give up that steal, you work hard for that draw of the button, and I know it's only a single, but you're still winning.
Yeah, you feel like you gave it up if you give up a steal, and then you got to get two just to be where you should have been with the hammer in the first place with the force. So definitely always felt that way. If you'd love to blank or get two, but giving up the steal is always just a little bit of a kick in the teeth. So great draw by Bella Wrana. That was not easy through that hole, and she made it look quite easy. And given how that end went, I think that they'd be pretty happy that they have a single point hanging on the board right now.
Double centers, love it. I think part of the reason is that center is too high.
Yeah, if that was closer, she might not do this, but I still like this call.
So you can hear Sarah Wilkes confirming what you already know, Chelsea, that really curls towards the fans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've fully mapped the sheet out yet. We have the advantage of both having watched games on this sheet, but they are too good at curling to not figure that out pretty quick here.
They could have watched too, I'm telling you. It's on. We do every draw is on.
It's true. It's true.
Good start there. Rachel going to ignore it and just go straight around the corner. Hometown crowd's happy. Team Epping in the house, drawn for two against Team Gushu. Sarah should be able to make this one. She just threw the corner guard and just add 6 or 8 feet of weight. I don't think you'll ever need to curl it here, likely.
I think that's more just to bring the speed off it than anything else, but...
What do you mean? Sweeping's not supposed to slow it down?
It actually did stop.
It did stop a little bit open,
Yeah, that surprises me there.
So kind of a hack weight chase and roll to the back of the button would be great. Do you have any update for us, Chelsea? Do we know anything about the next sweeping study? I know I'm not going to be involved.
I heard a rumor that it's going to be in early June.
Okay.
And
May's booked or what?
What's that?
May's booked. We want to just kind of get a little closer next season.
It's to do with where it's going to be held, from
Great
what
shot.
I understand.
Okay.
Wow, great shot. Yeah, so there's going to be, I don't know that the roster has been set yet as far as who's going to be involved, but that's what the current rumor, no, not confirmed, don't quote me, but that's the rumor that there will be some sort of sweeping study done in early June to test all these foams and try to figure out what's going on.
Double peel coming here from Emma. What not Rachel not loving. I know it's behind the tee line, but the double centers are a problem.
Roller shooter if you can.
I was just about to say, there's no way you could leave them all there. You can see Rachel's got something wrong with her neck there, just stretching it out.
Yeah.
That hurt the neck. That's whiplash-ish. You couldn't make that shot if you tried.
No, it's pretty unlucky.
You're going to have to make it again, though. Whoever's shooting next is going to have to do that again.
Yeah, now you want to make it.
Yeah.
The first time you did not. Good opportunity here for Team Wrana to wrap another one.
Have we heard any, speaking of rumors, any rumors of the concert list for the Grand Slam of Karaoke?
I've not heard any, but I'm dying to know. I feel like we need to get Devin on it.
Good call.
He needs to break some stories about who might be participating.
Devin Haru of CBC fame and curling fame has come on board with the curling group.
Award-winning journalist and long-time
Same way?
Gushu fan? No.
curling journalist, I was going to say. He's been around for many years, and we all know him quite well. And great acquisition by the curling group to bring Devin on board for this.
Whoa, that didn't even look close.
There was some moving parts on that throw.
Yeah, that looked different. Wow, she was close, but that didn't come out of her hand where she was sliding, I can tell you that. But that's a great result, opens it up. But still lots of work to do here. Going to need the wizard to come through here, Tracy Fleury, with a run back double or triple.
How do you think Glenn feels about that? The wizard, that was the Wizard of Winter.
Yeah, he's the Wizard of Winter still.
I don't think
Scott
anyone
Russell
else has
gave
been.
him that? Was it?
I think
Who gave it
so.
to?
That I don't
Scott
know if
Russell.
that's true. That's what I'd heard, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh, it was Wizard of Winter was legit.
Yeah.
And
So
he was a wizard.
I don't think anyone else has been called the wizard since him.
Some numbers deserve to be retired.
I agree.
Number 4, that was the number he used to wear back when we used to wear numbers in curling. I wonder if Nick knows that.
Howard 4. That's still his email address.
That's his, yeah, that's because of the family of 4, I think. But number 4 was his dad's birthday, and he loved Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr,
so
yeah. I remember
both
hearing
made
that.
sense.
You want to try and get to nose and make the double?
What number were you when you guys wore numbers?
I was number 7. That was just always my baseball and hockey number as a kid, lucky 7. Salva was 27. That was his grandfather's birthday. And Richie was number 11, which might have been his dad's birthday.
Oh.
And Wayne was number 2. Because of Austin Powers, they call me number 2. And he threw second behind, or third, but kind of second in charge, I think was the...
I've never heard that story, but
I don't think I made that up, but I think that's true, and it makes sense if you know Wayne, which
It does
you do.
seem like a Wayne thing, yeah.
But at one point in time, the Capital One Grand Slams, Ian Cunningham was the CEO and a great supporter of curling. Haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he drops by this week, who knows. But all teams were required to wear numbers on their jerseys to make it look a little bit more like typical jerseys. So it was kind of cool for a while. It just kind of faded, though, for whatever reason. I think Ben told me why. He says, because that number doesn't pay me any money to wear it. So I ain't wearing it.
And I think only 4 people on a team makes it less, and you're not wearing a helmet or anything, it makes it a lot less necessary than other sports.
I'm getting to the age where I should wear a helmet.
I mean, there's an argument to be made that we all should. Just ask Brad Boujou about his concussion.
This is thin.
Oh, no.
See, they're talking that snapped really hard. So they're maybe humans just take a while. I thought the women were going to pick up on it way faster, but it's taken about the same amount of time, Chelsea.
Well, they obviously haven't been listening to us because we've been talking about it for.
I'm offended. It's
pretty
funny
much
because
2
actually
days.
Rachel and Emma were watching the last game, at least part of it, because she texted to correct me.
You should text to correct her about what the sheet shape is out here.
So hit to lie too. Not in great spots, but no really great guards for Team Wrana to kind of get out of this. So this is tight by the sounds of it.
Really gotta go. Just head down, go.
Tight and light in a spot that curls. If anybody can save it, it's Sarah Wilkes, and she does. So that would be a pretty good rock to freeze too, but I doubt it in the second end.
It was a bit more, Sarah.
Dubben över typ. Ja, dubben över typ en halv träff.
Sounds like Dubel looks effing hard. Is that what she said?
I don't know, but I hope so.
It's flat, but
it's there.
Bella
She
can whip it.
She can throw it hard enough to make this for sure. It's not that flat. When you look at doubles, I think people sort of forget that the shooter comes off the top one.
Rock
so
higher,
you're
yeah.
rock higher
Doesn't
than
come
that
from the
rock.
side of it.
Yeah, but it seems like we sometimes think that. Like if they're dead even and they're not that far apart, you're a rock higher still to make it. So Bella can certainly throw it hard enough to make this.
Out-turn heater coming. I don't think she can miss it across the top. That would be surprising, but she's going to try with that speed. This won't curl. This sounds like a silent hit, though. Rachel just told us.
Don't really want to give her the freeze, though, right? Do you want to?
Looked from our camera angle like she slid a little tight and kind of set that back, and that's you're going a little uphill going that way, so it's never going to curl for you.
Team Homan doesn't need any help, typically.
No.
They'll take it, but they don't really need it.
You don't want to give it to them as their opponent, that's for sure.
Is the only thing.
Careful, because you're going to force her if you're a half rock light on this line.
Yeah.
I like where Tracy's tapping. What about open?
Yep.
Top 8? There might be a triple.
Well, it's just very precise, that's all. If you slip a foot deep, it's a triple.
If we don't shoot, we got a really good chance at 2. I know she could make that double, so I don't want to give her an out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that the important, like I almost want to give her a double on the middle two so that I get 2 out of this.
Because Frozen isn't shot. Like she'd be.
So if you make this good, she could play a draw. She could play the exact same shot she just played, and if she stays buried there, then all of a sudden you have a hard shot to score and potentially no shot for 2. So if it's me, you don't want to leave her a triple, but you want to hang this out enough that she has a double on your shooter and the back one, and then you have a wide open hit for your second point.
Rachel did make a good point. We need to be full force, she said, so that if they do freeze the back, they can't be shot, and that will.
What is it to tee here?
14.5 sounds right.
Same as my last draw, is close.
So we'll see. The conversation's over. It's time to execute. A good strategy is awesome, but if you don't make the shots, the strategy is really irrelevant.
It's very true.
In-turn draw for Rachel on her first here in the second end. Chance for 2, 3, and maybe even 4 if Team Wrana decides we don't want to give them 3. We're going to risk giving them 4.
Need half in the 4. Gotta go. Head down.
This looks light.
Really gotta go to get in.
We got to get
really
this in
light.
the rings.
That's 15-4.
Keep going as far as you can take it. Keep going. Just distance.
Not bad, but I think Bella's got to take on either the double or the freeze.
I agree.
I think the double's probably. She just saw it.
Yeah, and the problem with the freeze is that with the amount of curl we're going to see there, you could make it pretty good and still leave Rachel an out-turn tap for 4. So I think the double gives you a better result and at least kills 1 yellow rock. Taking a lot less ice, not surprisingly.
Like negative ice. Like if it doesn't curl, she's on about a third of it maybe. So I guess that's pretty close. If it doesn't curl at all, that's kind of right where you need to hit it.
I think you could back it up if you needed to.
Whoa. Whoa. She backed it up all right.
She did. Uh-oh.
Rachel's already out of town. She just gassed it again.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yep.
That hurt. So it's dead straight there. And I mean, probably not a terrible throw, but in a spot you just saw, that's not really going to be something that Bella's going to be super happy about, obviously. Rachel had a pretty good eye on it. She was past the tee line when it ticked it with P08. She knew there was no double and that her shot was going to be a draw. So
yeah, she didn't know if it was for 3 or 4 probably, but it doesn't matter.
I'm going to draw the rings here and get some points. Points are points. In-turn draw, final stone, second end. Team Homan to jump out to a 3-point lead. Really without doing anything too special. Sometimes you just got to stay out there long enough for the other team to fall down.
Yeah, 2 uncharacteristic misses there by Bella Wrana.
4 on the board. Hometown crowd. Team Ontario here. Team Homan's going to, I guess they're Team Alberta now, though. Come on. But Team Canada going to jump out to a 4-1 lead, and we'll take a quick break and come back for the third end action to see if Team Wrana can bounce back.
Every day you go new places. A small change in how you do things, or moving your things to a whole new town, or many things to many towns all at once. No matter how small the move, it can be a big leap from where you are now. You've got it in you to go new places. So do we. We go there every day. We're here to help you move to places on the map, in the mind, in the heart, or all 3.
Go new places with AMJ Campbell. Contact us at 888-AMJ-MOVE or amjcampbell.com.
We're back, and Team Homan made half their rocks count last stand, 4 for 8, batting .500, which is a really good batting average. And they've taken a 3-point lead here. Team Wrana need to respond here, but Chelsea don't need to respond all at once. Just need to have a solid end. Let's make 8 shots. Probably going to give us a deuce here if we make 8. And if they make a mistake, maybe we can get a 3 and tie this thing up. But not panic time, but it's time for a solid end here.
Yeah, and I think important that you don't panic, to your point. You only need 2 right now. 3 would be a nice bonus, but you don't want to sell the farm because, especially against Team Homan, that's what will get you into trouble of giving up a steal, and then, you know, it's maybe game over. So just try to get your deuce, make 8 shots, settle back in a little bit, because that end wasn't really that bad. It just was a couple of misses by Bella, uncharacteristic, that straight spot, just not knowing the sheet shape yet, and a 4 kind of out of nowhere. So you got to kind of try to shake that off and just play a solid end here, get your 2, get yourself back in the game.
Top 12. Top 8.
And flip side, if you're Team Homan, you're just thinking, you know, all the momentum's on our side. If we can make 8 here and force them to 1, they're going to feel like the weight of the world's on their shoulders. The weight of the world champions is on their shoulders.
Which would literally be the case. So
two-time world champs.
Back to back.
Back to back, baby. That's not easy to do, I've heard.
I've heard that too. I've never been to back-to-back Worlds, so I wouldn't know what it's like to try to win back-to-back Worlds.
That's also hard, just to get to back-to-back Worlds. Just wondering about her 2 rocks there. It's a good chance to have a conversation and figure it out, but good result there from Sarah. She'd love to have those lined up, but that's not bad at all.
Yeah, she was saying she thinks her second rock is maybe a little slower, so they were talking about her throwing the same weight, which sounds like she did. So they'll have a chat about the difference in those 2 rocks.
As the lead, I know Saville when he was the lead, and I made fun of him the other day. And Craig, you're as good as anybody. I don't know if you're listening, but if somebody knows he's not listening, tell him I said that for me. But he used to kind of make the joke, like when he'd have one that was 6 feet heavy, he's like, it's perfect. I'll just throw the same weight all game. You want it in the house, I'll throw the faster one. You want it short, I'll throw the slower one. So I'll throw the fast one first. It'll go top 4. I'll throw the exact same weight, and it'll go just tight. And I'll just keep throwing the same shot all game long.
That's what I used to tell.
Even I can do that, he says.
Yeah, that's what I used to tell my leads too. I'm like, if they're 4 to 5 feet different, it's kind of perfect.
Just throw the same weight.
One for the guard and one for the come around, just in whatever order you need to do it in. But I mean, we joke, but it is a skill that leads sort of have to take on. It used to be seconds that did it, and now it's shifted to the leads because they throw the most draws. So in theory, they are in a better spot to adjust for the difference in speed. I know.
This is
oh boy,
nosing, like crossing the guard. We got a crossing guard situation here.
And that's going to end up in the house.
It actually tapped it to a dirty good spot, like easy double.
Yeah.
Not going to jam. The yellow guard kind of rolled, so it sounds terrible as it's happening, and actually didn't turn out that bad.
No, it turned out pretty good actually, because the chase would have been hard on that red rock without that there, but now the double is really makeable.
It's funny you say that, you know, for a long time seconds got the bad rocks, and then it eventually switched to leads, which makes a lot more sense. I mean, and the timing coincided for most teams. Like I used to play lead on our team with Saville, and he was the second, and he used to get the bad rocks. And then eventually we switched, and I don't even really remember why, it doesn't matter. And that was right around the time I went to second, he went to lead, and guess who got the bad rocks right around that time? The lead got the bad rocks. So I never had to have the bad rocks no matter what positions we played, Saville.
Worked out perfect for you and bad for him.
That's right. Sav's going to make an appearance here this weekend, Friday. Going to commentate at least 2 games on the couch. He's coming in. It's going to be a reunion of the 1998 Ontario
Johnny Moe coming in
junior
too.
champions.
That's going to be quite the crew.
And then we've asked Carrie Anerson to keep us in check. She's used to keeping her husband Kyle in check, so she'll be good. So switch to the dealing with the top one. I wouldn't hate drawing around these 2, back 8 or something, but nothing wrong with a little bump and roll here. Try and get another one buried somewhere. She's trying to make a pocket maybe? No. I'm not sure what she was trying there, to be honest.
Nor am I.
It's not a bad result.
No, it's a pretty good result.
Rolled enough that you can't hit that shooter that she just threw and roll towards the other reds.
No, it's going to dead jam if you do that. So Rachel looking at the triple might be there, but I don't think you need to take it on. Probably is there, but I don't think you need to take it on right now. I think this is a smarter call. Scoreboard says this is the better call.
Problem for Emma Miskew. Long-time 3rd for Rachel Homan, and I mean long time, like their whole life until a couple of years ago.
Quite
until
literally,
they brought Tracy on, like from the time they were 6 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
And has adjusted well to second. Was always a good sweeper, and now has to do more of it. 50% more if my math's right.
Do you think your math is right?
In turn, come around the corner. This is going to leave a slash double, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my concern as well, but what else do you do? I guess try to split it, but splits are...
You could hit and roll on the red if you've made the perfect hit and roll and jam it on the button. You'd roll your shooter behind the corner guard, and then Rachel's going to give you a deuce, I think.
Yeah, it's true. You better make it, but it's the best result, I think, if you do make it.
guess as long as this one's not too deep.
It's got to be a bit of a guess out here for speed, though, I would think.
Starting to really curl.
Curling more than I expected on this side of the sheet.
Like you said, they're not going to leave it, you know, a little unlevel forever. They're going to try and figure it out. So that's actually not bad. At least there's only one way to make it.
It is there, but it's quite thin.
Might be a dead jam on the yellow as you see Bella there checking it out. Just to put that into Rachel's head. Got her. Mind games. Got her. Tracy wants to see. Okay, so that's fortunate. If that jam was there, there'd be a lot of thinking about this one. Could also just kind of jam it there and roll.
Yeah, I actually don't think the jam is that bad as long as that's sort of the plan, and then you just stuff it there and
board weight hit and roll to the side and leave it close to shot rock, and you got to make a perfect hit and roll.
Kill a red. I think as long as you kill a red, you're pretty happy.
Quarter, thick quarter. That's that seems thin.
I think to get it across the face, that's where you probably have to hit it, but
the Wizard. No, that's Glenn Howard. We already went over this. Tracy Fleury. Got her two brothers out here battling tonight on Team Epping, too. They're just taking over the sport. Oh, that's bad, though.
Yeah, jammed it to the exact wrong spot.
Spun it buried. So that was part of the reason why I think the hit and roll. I mean, Tracy's going to make that a lot, too, and it's hard to jam it dead wrong and roll it under.
Yeah.
But she did it.
I do think you have a little bit of it, but not enough to be a comfortable chase. It's probably there.
Nose hit doesn't look awesome. Nope, sure doesn't. Here's your example, Chelsea. Take it from here.
Yeah.
Close together, but they're even. There's no way you can make a double.
Sure there is. Does it ever jam on that yellow that's just out of the house?
It could. You can make it and hit it that thin. It looks like that's kind of a thin half. Half would be the dead jam, but if you do that, you're going to make the double anyway. Come on, what are the chances we can dead plant it on
Yeah, I mean, it would be a little unlucky, and even then you're not giving up more than two probably, so I think you take it on anyways, but...
And you're probably going to lie too, so...
Yeah, it's not ever going to outcount the other yellow, I don't think, but something to be wary of.
Not a very great effort. Chance to hit and roll like two buried now.
Yeah, and actually, if you could ever just kiss that red a little further in behind and roll your shooter there, it would be ideal.
It's a pretty big miss for Tracy. I mean, she doesn't miss by, that's probably 3 or 4 inches on a peel.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Not going to happen very often. Got to take advantage here for Team Wrana. Hack weight. Oh, wow, she's not even going to kill this. But I'm not sure here. There's plenty of room to kill that and roll under. And like you said, it might even kiss it buried. And is this a situation where we're...
farther ahead. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
Oh, she just kicked the rock. Is this a situation where Bella is worried about if we make this, Rachel's going to make the run double, or what's going on here?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm surprised. But like, I wouldn't be that worried about killing it, but you need to sit two. Like, you got to for sure sit two. So I'd be throwing at least back line. And we've seen the houses be really dead. So back line's not, like, that's borderline to move it far enough.
And this is where Emma chased and knows the guard. Like, she's not a bad curler. It curls here.
It should, but this one is hanging.
Yeah, Bella yelled right out of her hand.
And this is also more weight than she called for. I think it's the right weight to make the shot we're thinking we wanted to make, but it's more than what Bella was icing for there.
Not good, but not awful.
Yeah, it gives
The red one's buried.
The red one is buried, yeah.
It's third shot, though, unfortunately.
That is the good news.
Okay, do you want down normal?
When you get a miss at a Team Homan like that, one with Tracy, like you said, 3 or 4 inches, you don't see them miss by that much very often. So you want to punish them for it, and that lets them back off the hook a little bit here.
I think that's quite a bit of ice for down normal. Yeah, nose is fine. We just can't roll out of the Whoa! Yep! Hard!
I think that's okay,
Yeah,
but
no double really, but everything's close together. What's the best way for Bella to guarantee herself at least a double for 2? I think you still have to hit and roll under.
I think, yeah, I don't even think it's about guaranteeing yourself something for 2. I think hit and roll under's the call, and there's not a lot of real estate for Rachel to put it where you won't have a double and it could be for 3 then.
That's better than a double for 2.
Yes, the math says it is.
Probably a hack waiter or something.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, kind of whatever you want. This will curl. You could probably make it with bumper or board if you wanted to, but hack looks like the right weight to me. It's kind of edge to edge. There's not a lot of room there. Not the best slide I've ever seen from Bella, but she's pretty artistic when she does that sometimes.
One time she made that great hit when she blew a boot, lost her broom.
That was incredible.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not,
not
good.
Yeah, I don't know what this engine's doing. Thoughts?
And the out-turn curls.
As it is, we could take the out-turn. Yeah, you know the out-turn, take it. I like Tracy's out.
Tracy's out. It looks like you can't throw the out turn.
No. Well, especially when you throw like Rachel Homan does. So no matter, just take tight ice and throw the in-turn and sweep it.
Still 3. I don't know. This side is really straight, so if I keep it there, it floats. I don't think they don't float with an in-turn. They don't just feel it run straight.
This is good stuff.
You really hate the out turn, eh? Yeah, I like it.
Out turn. Tracy's out. But Rachel doesn't care.
She got outvoted.
This looks like that's where if I was icing Rachel, I'd put it pretty much right there and say you can throw the in-turn. It's not going to fall. I might give her a little less, just to be sure.
I would take a little less for the in-turn for Rachel, but I agree with you. I don't think it's that different one turn to the other. I do think it might fall a little bit, but so just take a little, you can sweep it back. So to me, I would throw the in-turn. Just this looks awful to your eye, but Tracy seems to be the only one that hates it. So here we go.
Probably just clean.
She set that though.
Uh-oh, too easy.
Hard.
Just barely, but
Good
does
enough.
the trick, stays buried, and forces on. Giggles everywhere from Team AMJ.
Not from Trace, she was nervous.
Yeah, that looked a lot easier with the intern.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I wouldn't have loved that either, but. And that was more of a outward motion than you see from Rachel on her out turn most of the time, so.
Because I thought it would curl up at all, and it never did. Then I was surprised to hear the curl call. Yeah. I thought she split nose, but pretty much did.
Isabella Wrana here with the draw for one against 2 yellow counters. Team Homan talking about rocks. This is getting tight early.
Yeah,
this is
is
a problem.
curling a lot. This does not
this is a big problem.
look great. They got to really go
to cut him down to 1.
Yeah.
Disaster?
Yeah,
I think that's 2.
It's 2.
6-1. It is. Yeah, Tracy called it 2 and then kicked the red one. I like that move. It was obvious, though. Obviously, Almeida already said it, but it's 6-1. Team Homan after 3. We'll be back for the 4th end right after this.
Well, I was calling it like it tracks there. I was worried. I didn't want to flash it.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste, eats little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
What do you have? Hey.
We're back in an unfortunate turn of events there for Team Wrana, like trying to manufacture a deuce for sure and an outside chance at a 3 coming down to skip rocks and ends up giving up a steal of 2. If I do all the math, 1, 2, 3, that's a 5-point swing.
That is a 5-point swing.
And we've got a 5-point lead for a team that you don't want to get down 3 to. You don't want to get down 2 to
I was
Team
going to say
Homan.
even 2 is tough.
So Team Rana's got the first half of a great comeback already solidified. They're down $1 million. Need to, again, same conversation as last end. Chelsea just need to make 8 shots in a row here. Had a good setup last end. Need to set that up again, and then Bella needs to just come through with a couple of real good shots, and I'm not sure her last one didn't pick there in her defense.
Yeah, and I think that I heard Team Homan mention that as well, so it might have hit something because it looked okay early and then it was just gone. And it still always looked like it was going to get there for second shot, and it didn't even do that. So maybe a pick and just a bit of a tough one. You got actually 1.5 anyway misses out of Team Homan there. Emma basically nosed a guard and tapped it in, ended up in a good spot. They got away with it a bit. And then Trace missed the double by 3 inches or so, and you're not going to get that very often. So that was a good chance, and they just couldn't take advantage of it. And then that last one picking obviously is just a bit of a salt in the wound situation for Team Wrana, unfortunately.
Trying to chip it in the rings here. And honest, folks, I promise you I'm watching our game, but Gushu just played a wide open freeze on one back button against giving up 4 against Epping, and he missed it. So Epping's got a shot for 4 to go up 6-2 after 3. And we got a world final rematch. This one's got a curl for Sarah. I think they got her, though. Oh, just going to chip it over to... Pretty good. But the world final rematch, Team Mowat, Team Schwaller. Team Mowat up 3-1, taking a 3 in the second end. So non-stop action at the Players' Championship, Chelsea. It sucks to be up here, but it's awesome to be up here at the same time, right? It's more fun to be on the ice.
Yeah, in theory, you'd rather
earlier,
be playing, but...
I did say earlier I could hardly get up 3 or 4 flights of stairs to get here, so maybe I'm not game ready.
I heard you and Plies talking about how you could go out there and show everyone else how hard curling still is, because these players are making it look pretty easy.
No doubt.
Top 8.
So I think a good call there. I know they were going to throw 2 corners, but Sarah foiled that plan by chipping the corner over to a center, and now double centers. Just need to create some offense somehow. Need a place to hide here.
Yeah, you may as well just stack a guard. Wherever your guard is left, just stack it there. A little bit of chatter right now between Team Homan about the rocks. So which rock are you throwing 2? And Emma held up 4. So they think there's something going on there with the rocks.
Really good shot there, team shot. Great sweep. Now hard to get much generated here in the center. When it's to the corners, you can corner freeze on stuff for Shot Rock. When it's in the center, not the same possibility. Probably gonna move this around, or?
Yeah, I think you sort of have to try to, and that's the problem with allowing the corner guard tick but not the center guard tick. So you tick it back to the center here, and you don't really have much choice but to stack it because you can't leave Team Homan double peels. So if you throw a corner guard, they've got an angle for the double peel, but at the same time, not as promising. With the hammer, you don't want to be playing to the middle here, and that's what they're going to be forced to do. This one kind of in between, but not a bad result. Just feather rubs off this top yellow stone. Would have liked to either sit corner frozen on that or gotten by it and kind of gotten in between, but Rachel was going to ignore it either way and go to rip these center guards.
Yeah, Rachel's not going to have time clock trouble here this game now. She's going to hit red as soon as possible.
She doesn't have time clock trouble very much anyways, but yeah, certainly not going to be a problem right now.
Do you want to join the time clock conversation with me, myself, and I?
Yeah, you had a good chat with yourself earlier about it. I'm on the fence a little bit. I don't necessarily think that it's too much time. It just depends on what we're looking for. Like, I'm a curling nerd, so I love the conversation. So I like a bit more time because I like to listen to that. But if we're trying to attract a new audience, is it too long? Maybe. Like, maybe there's something to be said for forcing them to rush and not have those conversations. I'm just partial to listening to the strategy piece.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, and that is a big part of our game. And what if we take off time but increase timeouts to encourage those conversations?
Yeah, I would be okay with that. Like, if you take a few minutes, you could take 4 minutes off the clock, but give me one more timeout or two more timeouts or something, then that allows you to pick your spots, but you have to pick your spots a little bit more carefully when you have those conversations.
I came up with that idea all by myself. It wasn't Colton.
Look at you.
It wasn't Colton Flash. Flash mentioned that, and I said, yeah, I like that. You know, even 3 or 4 timeouts, because the conversations are a huge part of the game. There's no doubt. It's interesting, right? That's part of what makes curling so much fun to watch, is the different options. So we don't want to take that away. We don't want it to be speed curling.
But what I like about that is that you can't just bank time so that you have time left.
Right.
You have to use it as a timeout. So it's only going to be used when you have a conversation to have, except for maybe the last rock when you call it just to save yourself some time. But right now what we see is, you know, there's a benefit to blanking some ends and hitting some ends out to bank that time, and that's what we want to avoid. So decreasing the total time but adding timeouts might be a way to mitigate that to some degree. I'm not against it.
Okay, it's good. Good to know. Great double there by
I have
Tracy.
no voting power, but I'm not against it.
No, none of us do. I mean, ultimately it goes to the Emperor.
He's open to anything.
He is open to anything. Just not a longer game. I don't think we're going to 10 ends.
No, I think that's really safe.
I don't think. If you follow him on Twitter, I don't think we're going to 10. And I don't think he's going to extend the amount of time.
No, and he's not going to encourage more blank ends, that's for sure.
No, you're not going to get paid for blanks. So sometimes you figure out who you are by figuring out who you're not.
Yeah, we know who he's not.
Yeah. This is all over the guard again. It's
this is going from bad to worse in a hurry here.
I don't know what they drink after the game, but we're going to find out in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're on pace to find out sooner than they were hoping.
Team Ha up 4-2 on Team Tabata right next door. Again, as always, Home Team Live bringing you all 4 sheets. We're the only commentators in town tonight. We've got a busy couple of days coming up, though. Stay tuned. Lots of great action, including Saturday, Chelsea. For the first time, we are going to not just broadcast every game, every draw. We're going to commentate it, too, and that could be as many as 4, 4, and 4. 3 draws, could be 12 games on Saturday with commentary. Oh, get your popcorn ready and your cooler. And the Masters isn't that great. I mean, I'll be watching it, but
there may or may not be a TV wheeled into the
you may hear Jim Nance in the background if you're hearing my
studio.
sheet, listening to my sheet, but that's cool.
I'll just bring my laptop, stream the Masters, but that's not going to be Saturday. That's going to be starting tomorrow.
No, for sure. So trying to get around everything. It's desperation time here. Down 5's bad enough, but also don't know how they're going to get shot rock out at the moment.
This one is sailing too. That's got to sit in a big hurry.
Rachel doesn't even have to hit anything here.
Am I just giving them something to chop off or whatever? Is this easier to just like tap this a bit? We never stay in front. Just going out wide in a new path. How deep is ours?
She could drill the red one, like not Rachel, but Bella here could hit that red one and tick and carry through.
You could get all 3 for sure with that.
So if I'm Rachel, I consider guarding that red one.
I would as well.
Just this ice right here is not fun. You either don't get under and you give them something. Just worried it's not going to get under.
Rachel doesn't like it.
No, she's out.
So we're not playing that. Let's talk about something else. Skip doesn't like it. Oh, she's in.
Well, it's got to be way wider than that. Where do we want it? That was in practice, so it's curling more since then. Okay.
Going for it.
Both of my draws would have crashed that.
Rachel's talking herself into missing this wide, if you ask me, I think, a little. But it is curling here like crazy. She's right.
I think wide is still the better miss, though. If you, like, you might leave her a double, but she's rolling away as long as you get at least edge to edge. So I don't think that's that threatening.
Can't crash, right? You can't chip
Yeah,
and
crash is the
roll
worst.
and then leave the in off.
That might lead, or a freeze or a tap or something. I think that that's worse. So I don't disagree with the mindset that Rachel's coming into this with.
Nothing wrong with that. Bella's going to have to play that shot, though. Right on the nose. Which one you got to hit first here? Yeah. Is that the way to do it?
I think you have to hit the center line one first to get the back side of the other one to get it going back towards the center line. I think if you hit the outside one first, it might go by on the right-hand side as we look at it.
I didn't want to take too much and then be wide open.
The center line one's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But try and get it through the hole, though. I bet you can.
Yeah. I think you can if you don't try. It's one of those ones where if you try to get it through the hole 100 times, you won't.
No
but when
chance.
you try not to get it through the hole, you will.
Goes through clean. That's what the scoreboard suggests is going to happen.
Yeah. And if it goes through clean, I don't think you stick it.
No, probably not.
I think just a hair low here, just a little bit on the center line side, ever so slightly.
Here we go. Plenty hard enough.
Set that, though.
That is set it and forget it. It's not going to get the trick done. It's going to open it up. Rachel's just going to probably hit that and give her one.
Yeah, so just set this a little on release so it hits it too far on the right-hand side. Needed to curl another inch or two, probably.
We could also kind of try and get cute 7/8s. Even if we touch it, we're still 2. Just with normal. It should curl, eh? The outside's falling like crazy.
So they're starting to figure out the sheet shape.
Can't curl. I'm just throwing normal. I think it'll curl. I think I could err on that. Keep it there. I don't see it falling.
Shouldn't fall, nope.
Definitely won't fall. Saying err on the keep it there. So they have 3 different releases. Keep it there is kind of the middle one.
Straight through?
Straight through, keep it there, and positive.
Okay. Which is
the biggest set.
In order, it's pretty big set, really big set, and humongous set?
Yes, for them, yes.
Okay, it works, though.
It's actually not that big a set. It's just with the rotation that
too. What's the mercy rule?
6 ends.
5 ends.
5 ends, like the 6th end, sorry. Yeah.
It's a couple more, I believe, for Team Homan, and an 8-1 lead, and we got a little bit longer break, a couple minutes before we come back in the 5th and see if Team Wrana can mount the comeback of all comebacks. We'll be right back.
Whatever you want.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Homan, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
What do you play for?
I play.
Female athletes have a 40% higher chance of graduating from university. 94% of women in executive level positions participated in sports. 80% of girls who play sports report they have a higher self-confidence, self-esteem, and a more positive body image.
I play for me.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, wear your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
We'll help fundraise and everything. Line's a little tight, but it'll be okay. Yeah, top 4.
We're back
Top 4.
for the shootout at the OK Corral for Team Homan, and just taking shells if you're Team Wrana, unfortunately.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
8-1 is too many. It's a matter of trying to finish this game off, I think, for Team Wrana with a good end here and try and make 8 in a row and get some confidence for the next game. It's not a long week, but it's kind of a long week.
It's a longer week than most slams.
Right, an extra game. They got a 2-game day, Rachel, Chelsea. That's unheard of these days at the slams. 2 in a day.
I know, what a
Whoever
grind.
owns this place must just be sadistic. That's too much curling.
Working these teams really hard.
Hair more than line.
play the chip shot again here.
Yeah, throwing it a little harder because it's further from the rings. Could probably throw like a solid bumper at this board at this and make it.
Trying to put it into the side back corner, or trying to just put it like so far over that's useless. Bella's got to get in position.
Needs to sit.
That's perfect.
Yeah, a really good shot.
That's real good. Just pretending like they can make the come around, but nobody wants to throw that one.
I mean, you could technically, but it's a little ugly, and it's going to not curl that way either, which is not working in your favor.
Updates in the World Final rematch, 4-3 for Team Mowat at the break over Team Yannick Schwaller. Schwaller with the hammer in 5 though, so a good battle there. Team Epping laying the boots to Team Gushu, 6-3 at the break, and Team Epping has the hammer playing 5. Team Tabata trailing Team Ha by 3. They are in the 5th end as well, Team Tabata with the hammer. So a couple of slightly lopsided games tonight.
Yeah, if you're coming down to the Mattamy Athletic Center, and you should, because it's a great venue, I would sit on the sheet D side of the arena, because that game is a battle, and the rest of them might be over a little early.
Crowds are picking up, and it's supposed to be really good by weekend. Not sold out though, so if you are in the area and want to come check out the best curling in the world and have a chance to run into Chelsea Carey and meet her, you got to come to the Mattamy Center.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the draw, but I will be here.
Distance. Yeah, keep it high. Hold the line. Light. Did it pick her a minute? No? Okay.
It's a bit of a guard by Emma. Wanted that probably like top 8, top 4, but
yeah, and this probably would have been heavy rather than light, but such a big mountain for Team Wrana to climb right now that I'm not sure that it's going to matter, unfortunately.
pretty good shot there.
Yeah, I'm not sure you could have done a whole lot better.
Who are you kidding? You're not freezing.
Right where you let go.
Yeah, the run seems like the more natural shot here, especially with the scoreboard.
This spot, this is where Rachel made that. I was surprised when she said it'll go right where you let it go. This should curl a little. Shot there.
It looked like Emma slowed a little full too, because she didn't set that at all. That looked like a like an uh-oh, I'm wide kind of a release. Just that little kind of just take your hand off it and hope that maybe it curls a little bit, and obviously did the trick.
Hit and roll under the probably corner guard. Could also draw wide or draw through the hole. That hole's tough.
Yeah, the hole looks a little ugly, and that's the side that will curl a little less in theory, or the turn will curl a little less in theory. So I think a smart call here to try to hit and roll. You need some cooperation from Team Homan if you're going to have a chance to get back into this game. So far, they've not been terribly cooperative. They usually are not.
Good hit and roll there, though. Moved it, kept it back 8 just in case. And
it also just ripped. Well, either one's hard. If you miss this, they're going there, and then it's still hard. Want to go this way?
They're in agreements on that. Out-turn, Peel. Get rid of this guard, open up the back one.
Close. Yep. Yep.
As long as you hold them to
Really got to go and take it off.
2 or less. Don't want to chip this in off that red one, but totally fine.
Yeah, good enough.
It's like that spot. It's like someone's kicking it. She's doing really good, and then it looked like it kicked twice.
Yeah, no real danger here now for Team Homan.
No, definitely not.
Corey Dropkin, is he in a movie down there, or what's going on? Down where the players come out. Sorry, folks. I get distracted quite easily. It seems like something's happening here at Chelsea this week.
It does. I'm with you.
Out-turn come around here. See if Duval can get one in here. Kind of like half buried. I would want this pretty deep in the house, like full 4 at least, because the yellow one's coming back, so it's not going to be full 4 though. It's going to run into the yellow.
Gotta hit it low.
Routine across the face, double. Move the yellow one over, and they'll be able to draw around, but both yellows have been usable, so.
I don't think you have to hit it very much low though to make it. It
doesn't look like it.
Just low of nose. She set that a little at the end, so they're talking about the other way now already.
The other way though jams most of the time.
Yeah. It is. Does it go? Yes, it does.
No problem whatsoever. When you're hot, you're hot. And Team Homan's hot tonight.
Even Sarah laughing about that one.
Even when we miss, we make.
Yeah, must be nice.
Right? Gone through the hole here.
Goes over like.
Seems a little bit more difficult than to come around the center, but
you don't want to leave them. I mean, you're leaving them the run back anyway, but if you come around the center, it's a run back on their own straight back, and it's shorter.
I think hope has left the building when it comes to
I agree.
the young Swedish ladies.
Hard to blame them for that.
It's pretty good.
It does.
Really good. Rachel's surely going to play this run back. Can't follow it, or you just peel.
This spot looks real tough.
You just peel it and give her 2.
Make the draw, you don't have to give her 2.
It's true. Throw this real hard, and I don't see a spot you can hit this where you're not going to be able to, where you're going to miss the back one and leave it buried.
She's saying assume it's going to fall. I don't think it's going to fall on this side of the sheet.
This could be set number 3 coming though.
Yeah, true.
The floater.
It might still be inside that spot.
How many peel weights they got? Regular peel, down peel, normal peel, up peel?
They have at least 3 normals, so.
Okay. Well,
Maybe.
It's hard to argue, really. I mean.
Yeah, you can't argue with the results, that's for sure.
Back to back.
Trace had it right that time.
Tracy's a pretty good line caller. So was Rachel, but Tracy's right most of the time.
I just think Rachel thought that was going to fall, and it was never
Yeah.
going to, and Trace seemed to have it figured out that it was going to finish a little bit.
Either way, really good shot, and leaves both of them unhooked, so she's going to have another runner if she so chooses. If this one goes behind the tee line, she'll probably draw, but.
I know, I wasn't sure because your second one was also.
Breaking news, it turns out Team Homan had a 9:15 dinner reservation.
I like their chances
A little
of
disrespectful, but I like it.
getting there. They're going to make it.
They're going to make it. trying to get it buried now, but that's pretty deep. Rachel's going to draw.
Yeah. 13-7.
Freeze, she's saying.
Have to be welded or it's a double. If we're crashing, there's a chance we could light two. Yeah, I got a 13-7.
Right to the back one, then it can't count. If you're anything short, Bella's going to try the double and hope for a little bit of angle because the nose double doesn't roll in.
Yeah, that's the concern. Not the concern, but that the double doesn't necessarily allow you the deuce anyways.
Here we go. In all likelihood, Rachel Homan's last shot of the game.
Yeah, I'm light. Wait only. Wait only. All the way back.
Right out of the hand here. Sarah Wilkes went to work.
If you can. Finish it. Finish it. Yep, yep, yep. Keep going. Right back. Curl, curl, curl.
I don't see how you make the double and getting the rings anyway without jamming the back one, I guess. The run, as we're looking at it, onto the right-hand side of the back one and just tick it. So on here, the left hand, she's not even trying it.
Yeah, I don't think it's there. I think you're always just hitting it on the nose to make that maybe a little bit to the left as we look at it here, but I think this is probably just to make this for one, and then we might hear some Velcro.
Hearing a lot of giggles, which is
yeah,
usually related to Velcro.
Yeah, yes, typically. Some antics here from Team Wrana. It's very on brand for them.
I told you the hog line didn't exist.
There we go, nailed it.
2 red. She wants some applause. That's going to be a final and a victory for Team Homan, and kind of a light skate for the Team Homan squad. We suggested maybe they'd be mad after this morning's loss, and the scoreboard suggests we were right, Chelsea.
Absolutely.
But that's it for this game, and that's it for us today. We'll be back on air tomorrow morning, 8 bells, 4 draws tomorrow, which means 16 fantastic games, all covered by Home Team Live. On behalf of Home Team Live, the curling group, Chelsea Carey, and myself, Brent Lang, thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow.
Rebound? Made one more shot. and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.